Hi everybody! Hey folks, some of you may have noticed that I have not published a video in some time, so I thought I'd make this little video to show you what I've been working on in the meanwhile. And that happens to be a new 4K retexture of the Milk Vending Machine found in Fallout 4. Now this is just a work in progress, so today I will just be giving you a tour of the texture in Photoshop here, and we'll also take a look at how the texture appears when wrapped to the model in NIFscope. Starting here at the Milk logo for the little Cobb Creamery, which you can see is fairly pixelated when zoomed into this level, and then we'll swap over to the new Ojo Bueno 4K texture, which you can see here. A 4K texture is one that is 4096 pixels by 4096 pixels in dimension. And this 4K texture happens to be 16 times the size, or 4 times the dimensions, of the original 1K texture, which is 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. That means for every pixel found in the original texture, we now have 16 pixels that we can use to describe that area of the image. And as we cruise around the image, you'll see that this level of detail is carried out throughout the image. And I'm also adding a few embellishments, such as this vintage Milk Delivery Boy sticker, which I have rebranded for Little Cobb Creamery, so as to remain, of course, lore friendly. Now those of you familiar with Photoshop can probably appreciate the amount of work that goes into a texture like this, simply by looking at the number of layers I have within my Photoshop file. And you can also see that the working size of the file is about 2.5 gigabytes. Anyway, let's take a quick preview in NIFscope and see how the texture looks when applied to the model. And while I'm nearing completion on the creation of the diffuse texture for this item, I will still have to create the normal or bump map texture as well as the specular map, so quite a bit of work remains to be done. And here I'll zoom around a bit for your viewing pleasure. And again, as I have not yet created the normal map or specular maps for this texture, we are seeing the vanilla versions of these textures used here. And while these actually don't look half bad, everything will appear a bit crisper and cleaner once I have created new versions of these textures as well. Similar to the Ojo Bueno Nuka-Cola Machine retexture that I published on the Nexus, I will also be releasing this Milk Machine texture in a number of sizes, ranging from 4K down to vanilla, so that they can be used by players with varying levels of hardware. Alright folks, this is all I wanted to share with you today. I'm still eagerly awaiting the next E&B release for Fallout 4, so be sure to look for my next video in the E&B series once it's available. As always, I want to thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for news about the release of this texture and for updates about E&B and other graphics and performance mods for Fallout 4. Catch you next time.